Hello! Welcome back to the gunship. Ooh, a little bit of an audio bug there. Should be fine. Let's try it out. Anyway, we're back with more Metroid Dread. This time we're going to be sequence breaking. Let's go and start a new file. Gonna do hard mode, of course. No point on going back to normal at this juncture. My last few streams on this were did Dread mode with no commentary a few months back. And then I did Dread mode with commentary. And then I did Dread mode 0%. Or I think I did hard mode 0% first, did I? I don't think I streamed that, actually. But anyway, my latest stream was Dread mode 0%, and that was a doozy. And I've also been doing Metroid Prime, no expansions, and that is also a doozy. So this time we're going to do something a little more standard. More of a regular playthrough, but again, not quite regular because we're going to be getting a lot of items early. We're going to be doing every single glitchless sequence break that's possible in this game. And by glitchless, I just mean anything that's obtained without glitches, obviously. And that includes the pseudo wave beam, which is kind of a soft glitch, but a glitch nonetheless. So let's get right into it, guys. Like I mentioned before, they really should have given you the ability to skip this opening sequence if you have at least one other file that's completed. I think that would have been reasonable. I could see making it unskippable on your first file, but even then, I think it should have, you know, you hold a button down to skip this. I think that would have been just fine. That's okay. It's a cool intro. Gives you Super Metroid vibes and Metroid Fusion vibes. This is only the second Metroid game I ever played. And when I first played it, I did not like this music at all. Because my only point of reference was Metroid Prime. And of course, there's nothing like this in Metroid Prime. I thought this sounded too triumphant and too militaristic. Well, too much like a wannabe John Williams, but it quickly grew on me. I love this theme. And of course, when I went to play Super Metroid for the first time after this game, I realized, oh, this is an old theme that goes way back to 1994 by the great Kenji Yamamoto. Unfortunately, Yamamoto did not write the score for this game. He only supervised the music. I hope he comes back. You know, it seems like he's coming back for Prime 4 because if the music in Metroid Prime 4's trailer is any indication, it means he's back because it sounds just like the kind of stuff that he would write. But yeah, so the sequence breaking in this game comes after you get the Varia Suit. Like I've mentioned in previous streams, the first, I want to say 15 to 20% of the game is very, very linear. The only non-linear part of it is the backtracking. And, you know, a little bit of item collecting, but again, that's the latter of that really isn't non-linear. That's just kind of basic exploration.
The bounty for this mission does not seem appropriate.
So the game doesn't begin to open up until once you get the Varia Suit. So we're gonna try to get through these first 6 or so upgrades as quickly as possible, so that we can get to the sequence breaking, and I can show you guys how to do that. Hey, Blue Crab, what up, man? How you doing? I was either gonna finish up Metroid Prime tonight, those final 3 bosses, or I was gonna do more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but I want to play some Dread, because I just love Dread, and I haven't actually streamed like a regular playthrough of Dread on the channel yet. They've all been like crazy Dread mode 0% playthroughs, so yeah. Gonna do more of a standard thing here, except like the title implies, and like what I was just talking about. Gonna be collecting a bunch of items out of order and doing some crazy routes. Going off the beaten path and doing some non-linear exploration as soon as we get the opportunity to.
That elevator leads to the depths of an underground facility. Signal quality is likely to be low. Remote communication.
But how are you tonight, Blue Crab? Anything new?
Connect to the facility's network when you reach the bottom. That way, then remain in contact. Any checkpoints waiting.
Also, are you like an actual Blue Crab, or are you a person with the screen name Blue Crab? If you're a person, do you enjoy eating blue crab? Or any kind of crab? Because I really like crab. If you're an actual crab, then I'm sorry to say that, because yeah, I think your kind is tasty. Yeah, W night. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to finish up Metroid Prime, or attempt to at least. I know I'm going to die a lot, so I'm actually kind of dreading it. No pun intended. It's going to be rough, man. I'm going to die a lot. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be really fun. And then, of course, tomorrow I'm going to do a lot more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That game is a lot of fun to revisit, man. It's got a lot of Metroidvania elements. You've only had crab once in your life, huh? Didn't like it, huh? If so, that's fair. I know a lot of people who don't like seafood or don't like crustaceans specifically. I think they're the greatest thing ever created. King crab, lobster, shrimp. Yeah, I've cooked up crab myself a few times. I've mostly had it at restaurants or eaten it at other people's houses, but my buddy and I did a seafood boil about a year ago. We had crab and shrimp and oysters and all sorts of stuff. Clams. We just had this giant tray of seafood, and we were total fatties about it. We ate so much. It was gross, but it was awesome. Use some Old Bay seasoning, and lots and lots of butter. A little bit of citrus, too.
So, you've accessed a network station. Well done, Samus. I have reviewed your vital signs and video log from the data you uploaded. I've run a full analysis. Whatever caused these changes seems to have stripped you of most abilities. That brings me to your assailant. I have determined that you are somewhere within the depths of ZDR. This planet appears to consist of multiple areas. The ship's low you may encounter pockets. There are many. One final.
Alright. Said, dude, how come you haven't become a chef already? You know, I cook for a living, and I really enjoy it, even though I'm looking to do something else here in the next year, but... You know, it would be cool to be a chef. I would love to be, like, a private chef for some rich guy. Just learn how to cook a bunch of badass stuff, and then just cook in someone's house for them. That's kind of a dream, actually. That would be awesome. Go to culinary school. But I've got other dreams, too, so... Write a meat cookbook. Yeah, I really don't know too much about cooking overall. There are a few things that I can cook pretty well, but I'm not very versatile, at least not yet. But I do watch cooking shows on YouTube as a hobby. You said I would buy that so quickly. Hell yeah, man. I should make a Metroid cooking book. Here's how to serve up an X-Parasite. Reverse sear with garlic. The Samus special. Charred crocomire. Yeah, I got a few. Metroidvania cookbook. Yeah, that's actually a great idea. Just have all sorts of stuff. Get like Hollow Knight in there, Castlevania. That's actually a really cool idea. That would be fun. There's this great YouTube channel called Binging with Babish, where he recreates recipes from movies and TV shows. And he just does a lot of cool cooking stuff in general. Alright, so far we're just kind of going through the motions, doing this linear stuff here in Metroid Dread. Once we get to the meaty stuff, the sequence breaking, I'll start breaking it down much more in depth. Looking forward to it. You know what I'm really enjoying lately? Out of all the things I do? Live streaming. I didn't know I would enjoy live streaming as much as I am. And I've come, you know, a long way. I'm becoming much more comfortable and kind of laid back, and my speaking is slowly getting better. You know, it's up and down, but... Ridley Ribs. Chozo charcuterie board? Bro, you're on fire. Keep it up. Oh god, I gotta remember that. Ridley Ribs. Shit. Alright, in our first true Emmy room. I guess I haven't really thought of it, but that Emmy didn't have an Emmy room. He was just chilling outside. I think that's because his shit was destroyed by Ravenbeak. That's the theory, anyway. I think there's some concept art to back that up. Hey, so you're saying I was thinking on how you can expand your channel. Oh yeah? What do you think? I am all ears. The main thing I need to do is make some actual videos instead of just live streaming, because that was the main purpose of this YouTube channel in general. I got some easier video editing software, so I'm going to start messing with it on my next days off, but... You said what you could do is find a sort of obscure Metroidvania game. Okay, I'm listening. Post it on the subreddit with a link to your channel. Yes, dude, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's something I've been kind of putting off, is getting social media going for the gunship. But yeah, I need to get social media on all platforms possible and promote that way. But yeah, that's a great idea. For both obscure Metroidvanias and just Metroidvanias in general.
Send out a pulse to detect vibrations in the air within a certain. Upon detecting vibrations, an enemy enters surveillance mode to track their source. Stay out of its line of sight when this happens. Otherwise, the danger to you increases dramatically. An enemy that has seen you will begin pursuit. Part of the pursuit protocol.
You said just a pitch, though. Yeah, no, you're reading my mind, brother. If you have any more specific ideas of what to do on social media, let me know.
I estimate a 99% probability of death if an enemy captures you.
Yeah, social media is all about maximizing attention. So yeah, and a big thing on social media I'd want to do is just use it to do normal stuff. Like on Reddit, I can get a Gunship Reddit account going. And then just go on the Metroid subreddit and just start posting and talking with people. And then when the time comes, I can do a little bit of promoting, but it's kind of tricky doing promotion on social media because people don't, you know, people find it kind of off-putting if you plug your stuff too much, but God, it's a delicate balance, but I think the best thing to do would just to start out anyway, is just to go on and just mingle with people and get to know people. Kind of what I'm doing now here on Twitch and YouTube, you know, just live streaming. Your documentary style content is a rare sight these days. I feel the game may explode in the future. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know, the documentary style thing is... I want to get better at that. I want to... So a huge influence of mine are audio commentaries for movies, especially old movies. I love old movies from, you know, the 40s, 50s, 60s. And there's this company called the Criterion Collection that releases these films on Blu-ray. And what they do is they'll have film scholars who know the material really well, and they'll come and do these audio commentaries and just teach you all sorts of stuff about the history and the context and details about these movies. And I've learned a lot listening to those. And I kind of want to do the same thing with games. And I have done it a little bit. You know, before I live stream a game, I'll kind of look up interviews and I'll do some research and try to incorporate that into my stuff. And I think you saw a little bit of that. I think it was on my last Star Wars, or maybe my first Star Wars live stream. I was talking about the history of the original films and the stuff with Alec Guinness and all that, so. Oh, he said, I wish more of the better old westerns weren't locked behind streaming walls. Oh, yeah, that's why you gotta go with physical media, man. I know it's dying, but pick up as many Blu-rays as you can, because streaming is great, but it's also highly controlled. And you can lose stuff in an instant, or stuff is censored, you know. Oh, jeez. But yeah, you know, it's... If you can get the original version of a film on like a 4K Blu-ray with a really great transfer, and you have that for life, and if you could back it up digitally, then that's all the better. But yeah, I'm not dissing on streaming at all, because it has its advantages, and when it works really, really well, and it's super convenient, so. Get our first upgrade here. The charge beam. Oh yeah, borrowing movies from the library. And, Blockbuster back in the day, of course. Oh, you never got to experience Blockbuster. I never got to experience Blockbuster proper because there never were Blockbusters in my state. But I had videos, there were video stores everywhere, so same kind of thing. I miss them so much, man. Makes sense why they don't exist anymore, but God, I miss them. Just the smell of those places. They had like this plasticky, fresh kind of smell to them. It was just really magical. I used to rent a lot of video games from video stores too. Remember first doing that back in the N64 days in the 90s. Got to experience a lot of cool titles that way. The only disadvantage of renting is that people treated the cartridges and the tapes and the discs like absolute shit a lot of the time, so discs, the DVDs and stuff would skip, and VHS tapes would be worn out, or people wouldn't rewind before they returned it, or just, you know, a lot of stuff like that. Well, yeah, still another great way to do it. Libraries still have all sorts of cool stuff. You know, my city has one of the best libraries in the world, even though it's a pretty small town. I think it was like 3 years ago it was voted best library in the world in this magazine. Yeah, or, of course, when it's voted, it just means it's one of the best libraries in the world, but... And I haven't been there in like 8 years, so I need to go check it out before I move. Yeah, it gave the discs charm though, like when I see a scratched up, dusty old case with a scratched game. Yeah, I mean, there's some charm there. Come here, you bastard. Uh-huh. I'm getting better at dodging these enemies. Yeah, you knew the game was loved. That's true. Same with CDs. The quickest way to scratch up a CD is to press rewind or fast forward. And I would do that incessantly because I'm obsessed with music, and I would be like, oh, that part was awesome, and then I'd rewind it, and then the CDs would only work for so long, but I still like CDs. I don't have a Bluetooth in my car, so I always just put in an album, and then just... That's how I get to know albums, mainly. It's just when I'm driving. Right now I have Meliora by Ghost in there, which is great. Dude, that's the thing, playing Metroid Dread right now after playing on all these crazy modes, like, just going through the game regularly is just a freaking cakewalk now. It's like that part in Dragon Ball Z where Goku is training like 100 times gravity or whatever. So then when you return to normal gravity, you're just like, bam! And then, of course, I do something dumb like that. I like that. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I got amiibos. You know amiibos for the Switch? I have Samus and I have The White Emmy. You said, do you think you could speedrun it? I do want to speedrun this game. I've never tried it. I want to do a glitchless speedrun, which is its own kind of obscure category. But yeah, I do want to try that very soon, live on stream. That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna hook up my Pro Controller real quick, and I'm gonna use these amiibos to get an extra energy tank and an extra Missile Plus tank. Let's do that. At least get in the top 500. Yeah, I could probably do the top 500 with some practice. I could see that happening. Top 100? No way. Not sure if I have the time or the discipline to get to that level, but yeah, top 500 I could definitely see. Okay, one sec. I'm gonna do this amiibo thing real quick. Okay, I had to switch over to the Pro Controller, because that's the only way you can read amiibos is with official Nintendo controllers. And now I'm back to using my 8-bit dough Row 2. Yeah, extra E-Tank, it's pretty neat. And 10 more missiles. Oh wait, what am I doing here? Alright. Lost track of what I was doing just because of that. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. Open up this door. Little jump. That part always lags every time I get there. I'm hoping the Switch 2 can iron out some of the minor performance issues going on here. I mean, the game runs at a smooth 60 FPS most of the time, but... Oh yeah, I go up here, that's right. We good, we good. It's always a priority in Metroid games by the developers is to hit, or not always a priority, but often a priority, especially lately, is to hit that 60 frames per second. All the Metroid Prime games do it, and Metroid Dread does it. I love 60 FPS. Wonder what Super Metroid would be like with 60 FPS. Well, I can't imagine that game without the frame drops, it would be a whole different game, man. It's part of the charm at this point. Can I get him in one shot here? I think I can. Ooh, that was close. He almost got me. He said true, but by then PlayStation and Xbox gonna be using every pixel. Yeah. It's true. It was kind of crazy jumping because I play the Switch most of the time. Going back to Jedi Fallen Order and just looking at the graphical fidelity, I was like, damn. Yeah. It really is far ahead. So yeah, that's... in a speed run I'm gonna do, that's definitely the trick there, to shoot him there and then get him very quickly. Because the safe way is to get his shield off here, then go down here and blast him, but it's not as quick. Oops. Hey, that's rude. Give me that. That's right, we got the spider thingamajig. Spider magnet. That's right. Yeah, 60 FPS is slowly becoming the norm, which is really good. Time to face our first boss. Yeah, even Metroid Prime on the GameCube was 60 FPS back in 2002. Speaking of which, I just picked up a copy of Metroid Prime for the GameCube, which I haven't owned in a very long time, so I just got it at GameStop. So now I have the original Metroid Prime trilogy on original discs. I just need to get a Wii with backwards compatibility with the GameCube to play them. First phase. Quick way to kill him is to hit him while he's invisible here. Running out of missiles, so we're gonna have to do charge shots. Dead. Definitely getting faster at that boss, bit by bit. And this right here is the coolest Samus moment. I mean, well, what we just saw, where she just slowly charges her beam while slowly walking around just with this stoic, badass posture. And then doing that cool jump. That's when I fell in love with this game. I was like, this is so fucking cool, man. Alright, we got the Phantom Cloak. So the Aeon ability, or the Aeon energy, was introduced in the last 2D title, which is a remake of the first, or the second Metroid game. It's for the 3DS, called Samus Returns. When that game was kind of clunky, you had to collect Aeon energy from enemies the same way that you collect health and missiles Here it's just a meter, that yellow meter up at the top left. So if I want to use the Phantom Cloak, slowly goes away when you... So I think, yeah, slowly goes away when you sit still. When you start to move, goes faster. Nice way of doing it. There's a couple other Aeon abilities that we'll find later. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. He said, dude, just checked Dread's price for myself. Let me guess, $60. It's the crappy thing about Switch games. They rarely go on sale. Worth every penny, in my opinion, but... Oops. There we go. Oh, it's only $25 right now? That is a steal, man. That's awesome. Yeah, dude, I need to get the special edition, like, now. I've been meaning to do it for a while. But yeah, around $150 for it. I should just order that when I'm done with this stream here. Get it over with, because it's got a lot of cool goodies. It's got an awesome art book that covers all the Metroid games, all the 2D Metroid games, I'm pretty sure. And a cool, really cool steel book. Yeah, I mean, it's my favorite game of all time. I should own this special edition. But yeah, if it's 25, man, I say go for it. Oh, pre-owned. Okay, still though. Cool thing about Nintendo Switch cartridges is that it's pretty hard to damage them. They're pretty resilient. They're really tiny. So, getting a used copy, yeah, is a good way to go. I bought a physical copy of Dread and of Metroid Prime Remastered, but then I wanted them digitally on the go, so I rebought both of them. Or no, I bought Prime Remastered digitally first because it was available that way first, and then I bought the physical when that came out. But with Dread, I eventually bought the digital version too, because I'm like, hey, I just want to have this at all times. I don't want to have to switch out carts. I'm more than happy to give support to the Metroid franchise because it needs it. That being said, Metroid Dread is the best-selling Metroid game of all time, sitting at around 3 million copies.
Magma is pumped from the planet's interior. I have located the central routing system for the magma. Samus, your current suit cannot protect you as you explore Cataris. The extreme heat of the lava is too much for it. Under no circumstances should you enter high-temperature areas. I know the shuttle somewhere above here. Use it to find a path forward. There is one other thing to discuss. It is your new Phantom Cloak ability. The Phantom Cloak prevents the enemy from detecting you. Thus far, your only option was to run. Note that using the Phantom Cloak severely decreases your mobility, and the Phantom Cloak is useless once an enemy sees you. The Phantom Cloak can remain active after your aim has been depleted.
So, if Super Metroid, back in '94, was guilty of not explaining enough, this game is guilty of explaining too much. And again, that's just kind of something that's to be expected of modern games in general. It's not out of the ordinary at all. But for a Metroid game, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's not too much, I don't, but the Atom sections, when you're speaking to the computer, can be a little overbearing at times. Thankfully, they're easy to skip on replays. On stream, I usually just like to do the first sentence and then cut them off and kind of maintain some flow, but it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. I'm just talking nonsense right now. Oh, said a good consensus for the special edition is $80. Okay. That I definitely want to get new because of all the cool physical goodies that comes with it. Did you say it was $80 new on eBay? Because if so, I might just go on eBay and do it that way. I love eBay, man. Wow, that was the smoothest I've ever done that little section right there. I'm getting better. I'm getting better at this game, bit by bit. Yeah, I'll have to hit up eBay and grab a copy. Yeah, the special edition has been out of print for a while. That's why it's a little more expensive. Whoa, hello. I go up here, that's right. Still don't have these maps memorized well enough for a speedrun. 140 new, sadly. That's fine, I'll pay one for you. That's about what the price is on Amazon, so I'll just go through Amazon instead of Evil Bay. Remember, a lot of people called it Evil Bay growing up because there are some bullshit sellers on there for sure. It's kind of hard to separate the wheat from the chaff. I've gotten ripped off a couple times on eBay, it's not fun. Just know if you see something on eBay and it's too good to be true, that means it is. Which is just true in general in life. Definitely getting the hang of these Hall effect joysticks on my 8BitDo Pro 2 controller, which I've had for about 4 or 5 weeks now. It's hard to go back to the Pro controller, man. Love this thing so much. Don't really need to be hitting up these save points. Oh, Caleb's playing Resident Evil 4. Don't really need to be hitting up these save points as often as I am because... Oh yeah, and I do that every single time. Go through that door even though I know that's not the right door. But anyway, the save points. I hit them up constantly on these last few streams I've done. Because... I had to. I was playing Dread mode and 0% runs and all that stuff. But on a normal mode of playthrough, I really don't need to. There's enough checkpoints to rely on. And fact is, I'm not gonna die unless it's to an Emmy. I'm just not. So... we got our first little taste of a sequence break that we're going to be doing very soon. Right there. It requires the Varia Suit, but it also requires a grapple beam. Oops. You said, yo, 8BitDo? Yeah, that's right, yo. Yeah, it's great company. I love all the stuff I've gotten from them. So you said got a Metroid livery? Livery? What's that? It's a great controller. It's based... so the 8BitDo Pro 2 is basically... a mixture between a Super Nintendo controller and a DualShock 4. Two of my favorite controllers. Combined into one. It's fantastic. The D-pad is heavenly, unlike the Switch Pro controller. The D-pad on that thing absolutely sucks.
ME stands for extraplanetary multiple.
Oh, like a paint/design? No, that'd be cool.
Can procedurally modify and enhance its own capability, its ability to configure itself to fit into their...
I know Power A made a third-party controller with Metroid Dread graphics on it that I want to get just for the novelty. Just to add to the collection. I probably won't even really use it, but it'd be cool to have. But yeah, this controller, it has Hall effect joysticks. And it has button mapping. So you need to get this 8BitDo software for either Android or iOS or PC or whatever, and you can connect your controller and you can map. You can have 3 different custom mappings. And the coolest part is that you can switch them on the fly. There's a button on the controller that you press to... So you have your standard mapping and then you have your 3 custom mappings, and you can just click the button and go to whatever you want. Which for me is a godsend because I have custom mappings for different Metroid games. So if I'm playing Super Metroid, then I click to my first preset. If I'm playing Dread, then I don't have to do anything. If I'm playing Fusion or Zero Mission, then I can go to my second preset, and so on and so forth. And it's super comfortable and ergonomic. It feels like I'm not even holding a controller, it just feels supernatural. Well, not supernatural, just really natural. Better choice of words. Oh, livery or livery, how do you say it? So that's an obscure name for custom cars. Gotcha. And it's a Bluetooth controller. You can use it for Switch, you can use it for PC. I'm pretty sure you can use it for PS5 and Xbox too. So it's just a great all-around option. Oh geez, here we go. You know, I want to do a deathless run of Metroid Dread, but the fucking Emmys, man, they'll always get me. If it weren't for the Emmys, I could easily do a deathless run, but sometimes they're hard to predict. And I can't always counter them. I can counter them about 50% of the time, but... Okay, that's right, we go back up here. Maybe I'll do a deathless run. Just kind of do it without the Emmys. Be like, hey, Emmys deaths don't count. It's just everything else. Three life run. You know, that sounds fair for the Emmys. I would still probably fail on my first attempt, but that sounds fair. It adds stakes, but not too much. Yeah. Maybe just kind of do baby steps. Then work my way up to deathless on dread mode. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't know if anyone has done that. That would be insane. They probably have. Knowing some of these gamers. Crazy fucks. We are getting closer to getting into the meat of this live stream, which is sequence breaking. We're almost there. Pretty sure we're about to get the Varia Suit. And as soon as we get the Varia Suit, the world begins to open up. Suddenly the game becomes non-linear in a variety of ways. Okay, not quite. Gotta get the morph ball first. We're getting closer. Woo. Hello. Yeah, I don't know how I would be in game testing. I'm not very good at finding or exploiting bugs. I mean, I come across them naturally, but you know who would be great at game testing? Dunkey. You ever watch his channel on YouTube? Every time Dunkey plays a game, he manages to break it in a way that I've never seen before. on Dairon to do some quick stuff. Oh yeah, we get the wide beam. And then we gotta get the morph ball. I think we get the morph ball back in Cataris. If I remember. Oh, and look, it's Metal Sonic. Metal? Also, speaking of Sonic, I'm not a huge fan of the first two Sonic movies. Especially the first one, that was absolutely awful. The third one was awesome. Still some dumb stuff here and there, but really tight screenplay on that movie. Shadow was awesome. Had some nice themes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. You said, feels like a lot of bad games could be more immersive. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude, check out Donkey's channel. Oh my god, he's so funny. It's called Video Game Donkey. Got like 5 million subscribers, I think. You're too slow. Okay, that wasn't very good. That's another thing that Sonic says. Alright, wide beam time. Yeah, you said the first two Sonic movies feel too family friendly. That's exactly right, you know. When I was watching them, I was expecting to see like a Pixar type thing where adults can enjoy them too, but no, they're just straight up kids movies. Whereas Sonic 3, there's stuff for adults to enjoy. Still a little too cutesy in certain moments, but overall, I was really impressed. It's that scene on the moon with Shadow and Sonic. Like, hits you right in the feels, man. That felt a lot like Pixar to me. Here's my least favorite Emmy. I know most people think that the purple Emmy is the worst, and I can understand why. But this guy is so fast. Like, he just comes at you. So mean. Yes, Live and Learn was in the movie, and it was awesome. You know, I grew up with Sonic, and I had a GameCube, and my most anticipated title next to Metroid Prime was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is a port of the Dreamcast game from a year prior. And I still love that game, despite its myriad of flaws. And the music is great. Live and Learn is great. Yeah, after that moon scene I just mentioned with Sonic and Shadow, it hits you in the feels. They have this, like, great conversation, and then Live and Learn starts up, and you just get pumped. And slight spoilers here, but right as Live and Learn starts, Sonic just looks at Shadow. He's like, "Gotta go fast." And Shadow says, "Don't tell me you have a catchphrase." He's like, "That's right, fake hedgehog." And everybody loves it. And I laughed and I laughed. Okay, it's time to get the Varia Suit. We're gonna get to the meat of this live stream. Get to the main point. All of this has just been preamble. Go up here. Go up here. Go up there. That's right. Is it time to kill this enemy already? Yep, sure is. Here I am. 0 hits. Oh, yeah. You said I have not seen the second or third one, unfortunately. Same with the second Spider-Verse. Just kind of procrastinate. LOL. Dude, I've been procrastinating with movies and shows the last, like, 4 or 5 years so badly. And yeah, procrastinating free time. The second Spider-Verse movie, same thing. So the first Spider-Verse movie was the first Spider-Man movie I'd seen since Spider-Man 3 in frickin' 2007 or whatever it was. And I absolutely loved that movie. I thought it was perfect. Again, it was like a Pixar movie, but with Spider-Man. It's fantastic. And then I heard the second one's even better, and I've been putting off watching it. For some dumb reason. Yeah, I need to get on that. Yeah, like it's worked somehow. You and I have a lot in common, Blue Crab, I must say. Morph ball acquired, baby. Alright. We've got the morph ball. And now the Varia Suit is right around the corner. So usually in Metroid games, you get the morph ball very quickly. It's one of the first upgrades. This game makes you wait for it. In this live stream, we're an hour and 4 minutes in. We just now got it. And you watch like first time reaction live streams, like DB Geek. He's a live streamer on Twitch and YouTube, and oh yeah, we go down here, don't we? Or no? Yeah, we do go down here. And he's like, every time he gets an upgrade, he's like, "Is it the morph ball? Is it the morph ball?" And it takes him so long to get it. And when he finally gets it, he just cheers. It's wonderful. So in addition to doing sequence breaks on this playthrough, we're gonna do some exploring. Yeah, makes you think it doesn't have it, and then just find it, yeah. Just puts it off. And then you get a massive dopamine rush. Now for me, this is only my second Metroid game, so I didn't really have a point of reference there. I was just like, oh. I mean, I was kind of... I can't really remember. I'm sure at the time I was thinking, like, where's the morph ball, but... Because just like I was pointing out with Jedi Fallen Order the other night, or last night, it was... These Metroidvanias tease you. So like, we've been here before, this part. This is backtracking right here. And like this, you couldn't get into it until now, and there's so many instances of that. where it just teases you. It's like, yeah, we know you don't have the morph ball yet, but you're gonna get it eventually. Then you do, and suddenly the world opens up a little bit. Said do with chat delay, that was perfectly timed. Which part was perfectly timed? Oh, we have a bot on Twitch. Hi, bot. Why can't I get more actual chatters on Switch? So I'm wondering where my boy is. His name is I Eat Bricks. He's been watching my Metroid streams, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He probably has a life. Just kidding. My life lately is streaming. And getting to know people via streams. It's a great time. I don't know. Hey! You played these games before? Wait, what? Look down, chat. Come here. There we go. Okay. Okay, we're about to get the Varia Suit. Oh, it's a meme. Hold on. I'll say more once I've finished up this section. Requires my full attention. This is a great set piece here. Okay, time for the Varia Suit, baby. Lockdown chat. I thought you were saying look down chat. Yep, I'm not familiar with that particular meme. Wait, what does IG mean? In internet slang acronym? Said IG, the Metroid movie was real. Okay, you're saying. Oh, maybe you meant if the Metroid movie was real, where would you have it take place? So, I would subvert expectations. The first Metroid game takes place on Zebes. But I would actually have it take place on the planet from the second game, which is SR-388. Because I think I was telling you about my version of the Metroid script. It would largely take from Metroid 2, and it's kind of like a patchwork of various Metroid storylines. But yeah, the important point, I think, of the first movie would be to incorporate the baby Metroid. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that storyline, but... Okay. But my whole idea for a Metroid movie, which I want to make a video about pretty soon, is to have an origin story for Samus and then connect it emotionally to her relationship with that with the baby Metroid. So basically in Metroid 2 what happens is you're sent to SR388 and you're tasked with wiping Metroids off the face of the galaxy because they're a massive threat. So she does that, she takes them all out. But then she comes across a little hatchling at the very end, which is the last Metroid. And she can't bring herself to kill it. And the Metroid itself, like, clings to Samus as if it's her mother, because that's the first person she sees is Samus. And then that sets up the plot of Super Metroid. So I think for the first Metroid movie, you can tie that in and get a lot of mileage from that. Okay, so right here, we have the Varia Suit. Normally, you would go down here to fight Kraid. Go through this series of tunnels. Blah, blah. I think you fight Kraid right there. And you get out over there. But that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna start sequence breaking. This is the moment where the world opens up. We have the Varia Suit, and we can go back and pick up a bunch of items that we couldn't before. And we could also get some upgrades early. So what we're gonna do is go back to Dairon. We're gonna get early grapple beam and early morph ball bombs. We're going to take this little route here and do that. But before that happens, I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Blue Crab says, bro, I haven't really chatted 100 times already, right? Now you have. Before that, you only chatted 99 times. The one other time was by a bot. The bot, he said, best viewers on stream, boo. Said you're being falsely accused by the Emmy. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that happened. And I love that you can hear Kraid roaring and rumbling the screen. And this is classic Metroid here, this structure here. That's something that was introduced in Super Metroid. Not the structure itself, but the idea of giving distinct landmarks to stick in your brain to be like, hey, I need to return here. Super Metroid did it to great effect. I think Dread could have done it a little more. And I think Prime could have done it a lot more, but... Okay, it's time to return to Dairon. Get some early items. Like I said, we're going to be doing every single glitchless sequence break. Now, if you start to incorporate glitches into this game, which I've never done, but you can do a lot of crazy stuff, but we're not getting into that now. Honestly, I don't really like glitches that much. I would much rather do things that are a little more natural. He said, isn't Ridley a statue in Super? Yes, he sure is. That's one of the best examples in Super. It's a part in Lower Norfair that you know to return to. Because a very distinctive statue. You need to have a bunch of upgrades to get there. Unless you're a speedrunner, and then you can just do it whenever you want, apparently. Because they're speedrunners. These guys are crazy. By the way, Blue Crab, if you ever want to see some crazy shit, look up Super Metroid any % speedrun world record. So this guy named Oats and Goats, he held the record for like 2 years, 2.5 years or something. And it was just broken by another great runner named Shiny Zenny about 2 months ago, I want to say. Oh my god, it's incredible to watch. It's like peak gaming. Triple question mark? Sorry, what were you questioning? My mic's on, right? Yeah, it's on. Let me make sure. Okay. Can do... No. We gotta do it this way. Okay. Now that we're back in Dairon, it's time to bust out our first sequence break. Get past Metal Sonic here. Get past all these guys here. Yep. Get past this dude here with 3 missiles. And now, as you see, some blocks that we shoot there. A superheated room here. All of this is far off the beaten path. Oops. Now, the path forward to this sequence break is down there. But we're gonna do something first. First, we're gonna do this. Oops. Jeez. Okay, we're gonna do that later. First, we're gonna do this. We're gonna reach a save point, because you want a good save point for the sequence break. Because it's a bit of a risk.
Uploading data.
As you'll see in a moment.
Area, Dairon, appears to be a biological research
Of course, you
lab.
get a very early conversation with Adam that you typically wouldn't get until good, you know, half hour, 40 minutes later in the game. Maybe even longer, depending. But yeah, you save right there. Give you a nice little moment. And then you can get this early. Oops. God, I'm not hitting that at all. Wow. I'm sucking right now. Hold on. If I'm doing this badly at this part, I'm probably gonna have a hard time with the sequence break itself. What the heck? Let's try it this way. Wow. This is pathetic. There we go. Hold on. Okay, you said, wait, so what's the YouTuber again? Shiny Zenny is the latest record holder, but really you can just look up Super Metroid any % world record and it'll pop up immediately. And the first one I told you was Video Game Donkey. It's like donkey, but spelled with a U instead of an O. Okay, so before we do this, I'm going to collect some health from this guy. Okay. I collect some health from this guy, too. Neat. Okay, so here's where the video, or the stream, truly begins. So what you want to do here, you slide through that, then you do a wall jump, and that gets you up to that point right up there, where I'm pointing, but beyond the wall. Like that. The first time I tried this, it took me so many tries, and if you fail, you fall in the lava. So that's why we did that save beforehand. And now the next part, gotta slide and do a jump to bridge that gap. Like that. Now we have a very early teleportal back to the first area of the game, Artaria. This is where we're going to collect our early grapple beam, like way early. And by collecting the grapple beam, that will allow us to return to Dairon and collect the early Morphle Bomb. What's really cool about collecting the early Morphle Bomb is that you can insta-kill Kraid, and there's a dedicated cutscene for it. The developers really thought ahead with all of this. Oh, excuse me. That. Early grapple beam. You need grapple beam to pull down obstacles and doors, and you can also use it for swinging. So right away you get 3 opportunities to explore. We'll make that 4. Right here is another opportunity. You can now cling the spider balls with the grapple beam. So right away you're exposed to 4 different things you can do with this new upgrade. Now that we have that, we'll return back to Dairon. And we will grab the early Morphle Bomb. Now, usually you can grab the early grapple, the early Morphle Bomb, then return to Cataris and take out Kraid very quickly, but we're going to do a lot more than that. We're going to pick up 2 more upgrades. What are those upgrades, you ask? Well, let's just wait and see. We're going to break this while we can. And that's something we can't use yet. Requires the Morphle Bomb. Now we're given a little reprieve here. We don't have to do the precarious, precise jumping. We can just take the high road. Grab a missile tank for our trouble. Head back to where we just were with our save point. Might as well save. Okay. This is where I usually do something wrong. Nope. Like that. Nope. More like that. Yeah, like that. He said, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, with your expertise and reliability, you could totally have a channel of like 3K subs in several months. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I think with more promotion and a little more elbow grease, we can definitely do that. Okay, this is the path forward, I do believe. Yep. Cool. Gotta turn the power back on. Also, there's the 5th sequence break right here, but that's still a ways off, and that requires a lot of backtracking. Early super missiles. ETD is set. Cool. See you in a bit. Alright. Head down here. And turn the power back on. Here. Might as well recharge. Here's where we go to collect our early morph ball bombs. So power's back on, that gives us access to this missile door. And here we are. Bomb acquired. Yeah, good challenge idea. Yeah, I think there's, a lot of the challenges I've done thus far are pretty standard things. Yeah, it'd be cool to do something unique to kind of turn heads if I could. But that'll come later. So yeah, in true Metroid fashion, like you just saw, each time you get a new ability, it's put to the test, and you have to use it in order to escape the current room you're in. Now, I mentioned earlier on, early super missiles, we need the speed booster to do this puzzle, so we're not going to do that just yet, but that's a cold room that will hurt us when we go in it. But if we have the speed booster, you can do a really neat trick and kind of bypass that. Okay, so now that we have early grapple and early bomb, the true journey begins. Great background detail here. This is the experiment boss that we will face much later in the game. It's being worked on. You know, if Samus were smart, she would try to interrupt this process, be like, hey, get these little things out, be like, bah, 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 bah. But I guess she just doesn't know yet. And this isn't just a sequence break playthrough, this is an item collection playthrough, an exploration playthrough. So we're gonna really explore the non-linear exploration potential of Metroid Dread during these streams. Cool, we're at about an hour and a half streaming here. Like I said, normally when you have early grapple and early Morph Ball Bomb, you just head back to Caterus and take on Kraid, but we're gonna go above and beyond here. Those Morph Ball tunnels we just took, that leads us to a whole new area of the game called Varia. Oops. Here we go. You're not supposed to get to Varia until much later in the game, but we're here. We have the necessary upgrades, so we're gonna do what we can. We're gonna find another sequence break. So this sequence break isn't actually listed in the typical lists that you see online. Like if you search for Metroid Dread sequence breaks on Google, it'll bring you up to a couple Reddit threads. One is called a full list of glitchless sequence breaks on Metroid Dread. It does not mention this one for whatever reason, but it's an incredibly useful one. It's one of the best abilities in the game, and you can get it very early. Welcome back, Blue Crab. Yeah, check this out. This is gonna be cool. Absolutely love the atmosphere of this section. Heavy rain pouring down, the big ass waves of the ocean. One complaint I have of this game is that there aren't more outdoor sections. Like, why can't I go out exploring around like this ocean and stuff? Does every single area in this game need to be like enclosed? You said waves are so calming. They really are. So is the rain. Really like that background detail with the... It's just like an aquarium. Reminds me of like visiting SeaWorld or some shit. So down here, that's the path forward and later, but that's irrelevant now. We need the diffusion beam gained from Kraid to get past there, and there's no way of sequence breaking that. The only way to get that is to defeat Kraid. But like I said, we're not focused on Kraid right now. We are focused on exploration. Dude, Camino from Attack of the Clones. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's not the... Yeah, that's the place that Obi-Wan goes to, like, research, like, the archives or whatever. Yeah, and then he fights Jango Fett on his way out, right? I mean, I haven't seen that movie in forever, but that's a very memorable scene. Yeah, whole same vibes here. That's a very good point. I need to rewatch all of the Star Wars movies pretty soon. Okay, another early Adam conversation. Very early.
Uploading data.
The lower levels of Varia are mostly submerged. Abilities such as the grapple grapple beam or space jump will help you maneuver underwater to an extent.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of any of the prequels, but again, I haven't seen them in so long. Maybe I'll see some cool things that I didn't realize before if I revisit them. Yeah, I haven't watched the Star Wars prequels since I was a teenager. I think I was like 18 or 19, and that was a long time ago. Okay, that's right, can't get up there now. What I'm gonna do is head downward. Yeah, I do remember the shitty parts of Attack of the Clones. Namely, any scene involving Anakin and Padme. What was George Lucas thinking, man? I mean, the sand line, of course, but it goes way beyond that. I'm in love with you, Anakin, but I'm a senator. I'm a senator, which means I can't be in love, and you're a Jedi, which means you can't be in love. Even though we're not in love, we have nothing in common and no chemistry. Okay, use our grapple beam to get this energy tank. Said, you know, Revenge of the Sith is really good if you get past the parts of the bad dialogue written in. Yeah, you know, and a lot of people love Revenge of the Sith, and even Roger Ebert, one of the greatest film critics of all time, gave it a positive review. And I remember really enjoying it when I first saw it, back in 2005. And yeah, some of the dialogue is abysmal, but yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to rewatching most, because it seems to have its merits. Like, it's the story of betrayal of not only father, son to brother relationship. Yeah, the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin seems to be the glue there. Okay. Yeah, I need to do that soon. I need to just do a full rewatch of all the Star Wars things. Maybe after I finish my playthrough of Fallen Order, I'll do that. And I'll watch the Disney movies too, or maybe just the original 6 for now. Gotcha. From my point of view, the Jedi are evil. And the thing about the prequels is that a lot of the big ideas of the prequels are great. You know, the political stuff on paper, along with the fact that the Jedi Council is not totally infallible. You know, there's a lot of great ideas there. It's just they're not always all that well executed, because George Lucas can't write a script to save his life. You know? The reason why Empire Strikes Back is so good is because George Lucas didn't have a direct hand in the screenplay itself. You know, he was the idea man. He was the guy who's like, hey, here's what's gonna happen. And then people like, what's his name? I can't remember the main guy who wrote the script, but the director, Irvin Kershner, you know, it's like, hey, here's the overarching things that'll happen. You guys fill in the details. Honestly, the bad dialogue, like hello there and I have the high ground, I don't mind that much. I think that stuff is fine. You know, some of the worst dialogue again is between Anakin and Padme, like, you are so beautiful only because I'm so in love. No, 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 it's because I am so in love with you. Yeah, stuff like that. But okay, you say that's where the Clone Wars succeeds, and yeah, I really gotta watch the Clone Wars. That sounds fantastic. But yeah, there's been a lot of commotion made about, you know, George Lucas should have been in control of the Star Wars Disney movies, but the thing that made Star Wars really great, even going back to the original film, is the fact that George Lucas was the idea man, and he had other very talented, capable people who knew when to change certain things. You know, that's Star Wars at its best. It's George Lucas coming up with the big ideas, and then other people actually writing the script and directing it for him. That is Star Wars at its best. And then that's how it should have been in the prequels and how it should have been in the Disney films, but it wasn't that way for either. And that's why it suffered. Okay, so I've been talking about Star Wars this whole time, but here is our third sequence break that really isn't mentioned all that much in Metroid Dread Discourse, which is early flash shift. That's right, motherfuckers. A combat Aeon ability that allows Samus to instantly move forward or backward a set distance. With full Aeon, hold A to prepare flash shift. Next, tilt L forward or backward to move instantly in that direction. Alternately, press A while moving with L. Wait, I never used it. I never charge it. I always just do the second way. This ability can be used in midair as well. Samus can perform up to 2 additional flash shifts by holding down A and tilting L forward or backward immediately after the first flash shift. Using a flash shift will consume the full Aeon gauge. Additional flash shifts consume no further Aeon. Okay, so wait. Oh, I always forget that you can charge it. I never do that. Honestly, there's no need to. I always just jump up and do this. Whee! Yeah, this is a brand new ability introduced in Metroid Dread. And it's one of Samus's best abilities in general. You said something kind of interesting as Marcia Lucas helped in the first 3 Star Wars edit. The edit, yeah. Dude, the first edit of the original Star Wars was a fucking disaster. They brought it to some test audiences and they're like, oh god, this is gonna fail. But his wife saved it. You know, there's certain decisions, like, you remember the Death Star thing? When Luke is going on the Death Star, so in the final edit, they made the decision to intercut Luke heading toward that final shot in his X-Wing to the countdown of the Death Star blowing up the planet, you know, and that created this amazing tension. And there's examples of that throughout the entire film. So that just goes to show that editing is a vital part of filmmaking. You know, you can have great footage, great screenplay, great story, whatever, but if the editing fails, then the whole thing can fall flat. Yeah, and the editing in the prequels sucked, so... See, it looks like an anime dodge. I've never seen anime, I get the feeling, though. You never seen any anime, really? So I'm not much of an anime guy myself, but... I have seen a few of them, and I just watched Death Note, and that was incredible. Yeah, it does look like an anime thing, doesn't it? But yeah, the flash shift is just super useful. And we have it super early now. Farm a little bit here, get us some health. Ooh, look at all that health. That's enough. Yep. Oh man, I forgot how hard the enemies hit in this game. I've been playing Dread mode for so long that I done forgot. Yeah, Death Note was excellent. I'm also a huge fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's really uneven and inconsistent, but when that show hits, it really hits. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of exploration here in Berenia before we head out. The whole point of coming to this area super early is to get the flash shift. And do a couple cool things beforehand. Cool. Head back up this way. Oops. Yeah, getting the flash shift as early as possible is such a power move in Metroid Dread, it really is. So the art style is very satisfying, especially the 80s when they needed to light things up in special weird ways. I mean anime? Never seen one and it... And wait, hold up. And I know it's good. Oh, 1980s anime show. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think the 90s was a pretty good time for animation in general. You know, in the West and the East. It was still hand-drawn and had that kind of natural look, so it wasn't too polished, but it also had a really nice fluidity. What would you say the worst item is? That's a good question. I haven't really thought of it. Yeah, I would have to look at a list of all the upgrades and determine it from there, but... Okay, so... Took a detour, got us some early flash shift. You know, I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So, you asked, which upgrade is most kind of letting down to get when you find it? Again, I would have to kind of look at the entire list and think about it, but actually off the top of my head, it's actually the item that we should have gotten before all the sequence breaking we've been doing now. We've gotten 3 early items so far. But naturally, you're supposed to get the diffusion beam by defeating Kraid. And it's not that interesting of an item, honestly. It just allows you to, like, shoot through walls further or something. So it's useful. It's just not that interesting or fun. Oh jeez, here we go. Ha! Countered his ass. Ain't no thing. Cool. Okie dokie. Let's go and save, just for the fuck of it. So, like I was saying earlier, normally you get early grapple and early bombs and head to Kraid. We went further out of our way to explore a brand new area very early, Varia, and get the flash shift. Ah, see, flash shift. Whee! But we're not done yet. We're gonna find something else. Now, the next upgrade isn't like super cool or anything, but it is incredibly useful. It's called the pulse radar. Oh, we can't go up there yet, can we? I'm going the wrong way. Of course, I hear the Emmy. I'll go down here. Yeah, that Emmy is very, very fast. It's because he has the speed booster, and once you defeat that Emmy, you also get the speed booster. Yeah, we don't need to save. Yeah, the pulse radar is an ability, an optional ability. Something that we're going to get super early here because A, we get to explore a area much earlier than intended, and B, because it helps us find items. When you use the pulse radar, you can see hidden blocks. They're highlighted instead of just hidden overall. Okay. Yeah. I think we've gotten most of the items we can get here. Oh wait, what's that one? Oh, I forgot that one. Did I? No, I can't get there yet. That's right. Take this guy out. Do this. A little shortcut. Okay, our time in Dairon and Varia is done, and we are up 3 early upgrades. Sequence breaking for the win, baby. That's right. So, Blue Crab, you said you haven't seen an anime. Out of all the anime that you've heard of, what is one that you would be willing to check out? So like I said, I'm really not an anime guy either. A lot of the conventions of the medium kind of turn me off, so I've only seen like 3 or 4 anime, but okay. Now that we have our early upgrades, so we have a lot of early items we can find, and we're gonna do some of them. Not as many as usual, though. Our main priority is to go over here and do that sequence break that I pointed out earlier. Now that we have the appropriate upgrades. And on our way, we should check out this. Alright, that's nothing. Okay. So morph ball tunnel there, that'll get us something. But again, this stream really isn't about early item hunting now, is it? It's mostly about sequence breaking, so I want to keep it a little more focused. Like normally with all these early upgrades, I would find all these missile expansions and E-tanks and all these early things, but we're mainly gonna just focus on the sequence breaks themselves this time. All that other exploration stuff I'm gonna mainly focus on an actual edited video for YouTube. It's gonna be called Non-Linear Exploration in Metroid Dread, which is kind of a controversial subject because this game is considered by many Metroid fans to be linear, but that's only half true. Okay. So, this is going to be our 4th early item before we face Kraid. Again, on a normal playthrough, we would have faced Kraid a long time ago. So that's a teleportal that'll bring us to Gavaran, a 5th area of the game. Super early. Before we do that, we're gonna do this, go up here, grab that missile tank. Said Wolf Brigade. I can very much appreciate the art style and design, but I don't know. Well, I've seen a clip before. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you get a good feeling just from the clip itself, then that probably means something. The only anime I've seen so far, like I watched Dragon Ball Z as a kid, like a lot of people. And as an adult, it took me until I was in my 30s to start watching anime again. And I saw this movie called Akira, and that was fucking awesome. I have it on Blu-ray. I need to rewatch it. Then I saw Neon Genesis Evangelion, which I've mentioned before, which is a mixed bag, but it's got great things about it. And I have Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray, which I still need to watch, which I've heard great things about. And then I just watched Death Note over the past month or so, and that was excellent. Death Note was so epic, man. Great show. Not just in terms of cartoons or anime, that's just a great show in general. It's in my top 10. Okay, here's our 4th sequence break that I was talking about. It's an optional upgrade overall, but maybe it's not optional. I think you have to go through here at some point, but this is super early. So early pulse radar. So yeah, the whole point of this is you hold right on the D-pad and you can see these hidden blocks all of a sudden. They appear in this translucent blue fashion. It's very useful, not only for finding items, but also for finding the path forward. Like I said, we've gotten to Gavaran super early, but there's not a whole much, or there's basically nothing we can do further at this point. We just came here to collect the pulse radar early, and we make our way back up to Cataris. Now, we are ready to fight Kraid. Like, don't get me wrong, usually when I do these sequence breaks, I go item hunting. I use the scan, or the pulse radar, to find a bunch of early missile tanks and get to the point where I have like 110 missiles and a couple extra energy tanks. But for the sake of this stream, we're gonna streamline it a bit. How are y'all doing today? Hey, what's up, man? Let me check your username. DelTKF, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? I'm doing great. I'm pretty sure Blue Crab is also doing great. We're having a good time sequence breaking Metroid Dread and talking about a lot of other stuff, including Star Wars and anime, and yeah, it's fun. So just to catch you up, we've done 4 sequence breaks so far. I just beat the game like yesterday. How goes the sequence? Oh, wow. So you played the game for the first time yesterday. That's awesome. What did you think of it? The sequence breaking is going well. We've done 4 of them so far. We got early bombs. Or no, first we got early grapple, then we got early bombs. Then we got early flash shift, as you can see here. That. And then we got the early pulse radar, which you can see here, which allows us to check out the blocks much earlier than intended. Yeah, nice coincidence. Indeed. Okay. Now that we have all this stuff, we're gonna save real quick. You said it's been a long time since I've played a game that felt this easy to get into. It's so good. Hell yeah, man. Have you played any other Metroid games, or was this your first? Yeah, I adore this game. For me, it wasn't so easy. I had a hard time my first couple playthroughs, but I enjoyed every minute regardless. Okay, now that we have our early items, we're going to do something cool here. So, we've done 4 sequence breaks so far, but only 2 of them are required to do what we're going to do here while we face Kraid. There's a dedicated cutscene for getting early grapple and early bombs. I'm going to show that to you guys. Let's farm a bit first. Oops. Okay, you beat Metroid, Zero Mission, Fusion, and Prime. Awesome. How do you think Dread stacks up against those? Oh, you played Super but didn't finish it? Super is hard to get into at first, but once you do, oh my god, that game is incredible. And that's kind of like the overall blueprint going forward. You can hear Kraid roaring, doing his thing. Said, dang, Gunship did a Zero expansion a couple days ago. Yeah, for Prime. I still haven't finished my Prime Zero expansion run. Well, Prime was the first Metroid game I ever played. And it's still a favorite, but I'm doing a run where I have no additional missile tanks or no E-tanks, and I'm down to the final few bosses. I'm at Ridley right now, so I've got to do that pretty soon. Oh, the select button thing, yeah. I was spoiled because I played Zero Mission and Fusion first. I went from simple to complicated. Yeah, nah, that's totally fair, man. And yeah, the item toggling in Super Metroid is super annoying unless you have like a super custom button mapping system, and I actually have a really cool system that involves like a controller with back paddles. So you have the run button dedicated to a back paddle instead of a face button, and then you have the toggle items between the X button and then the left back paddle. That makes the game so much more accessible. But yeah, without that, it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, the controls in Super Metroid are A, a lot to get used to, and B, you know, some of the mapping choices are really weird. Say that as for which I like most, that's really hard. It's probably Dread now, mostly because the Emmys felt like the SEX without the scripting. Yeah, for me, the Emmys feel like an improved version of both the SEX and the Zero Suit section and Zero Mission. Those two things were like prototypes for the Emmys, and I think they nailed it with the Emmys. Yeah, also the checkpoints, very helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what we can do with Kraid. Oh, hold on, I gotta plug in my controller. Wait up. Yeah. The checkpoint system in Dread is super nice. Instead of having to rely on save points, you get an immediate opportunity to try things out, so. Alright. So, you gotta get through this first phase of Kraid, and then I'll show you guys what we can do with the sequence breaks we've gotten so far. Oh, and I'm not playing in Dread mode, so I can actually take hits. It's pretty nice. Alright, first phase is done. You said, I feel like the frequent checkpoints also let them get more complex with the bosses. A lot of the bosses you can just kind of wail on. Yeah. So, we used early grapple to get early bombs. Now that we have early bombs, we do this. We instantly kill Kraid. We skip the second phase entirely. And that's it. So in Dread mode, the heat and cold do not instantly kill, and I don't think lava does either, but everything else does. The other things just drain your health like normal, which I think was a good touch. Yep, bye-bye, Kraid. So we also got early flash shift, and there's a really cool thing you can do with that, but I wanted to show off the insta-kill of Kraid, so... Okay, and now we're finally back to the standard sequence. We got 4 items before we got the diffusion beam. Normally we would have gotten that a lot sooner. It's a neat one of the shine spark things I used. The cold room to start. Which part was that? Yeah, there's a lot of neat shine spark tricks you can do. We're gonna do one of them pretty soon, actually, as our 5th sequence break, I think, or 6th, maybe. We'll see. I was surprised the diffusion missiles didn't return. Yeah, diffusion beam instead. Yeah, a lot of little tweaks with each entry. Alright, now we're back on the critical path. Oh. Sorry, my mic messed up. Yeah, I know exactly what puzzle you're talking about. I think that's on, Varia, I want to say. Yeah, you got the fan, and then you gotta either use some wall jumps or do some other stuff, and that one's really tricky at first. I used the cold room to the top left instead for more time. Dude, that's what's amazing about some of these puzzles in the game, is that there's so many different ways to approach them. Okay, now that we have the diffusion beam. So okay, the first time I sequence broke this game and did the insta kill on Kraid, I had no idea where to go because it's a completely different route. But what we have to do is get to this bottom left part of Dairon and get to the central unit. In order to do that, we have to go back to Varia. We have to backtrack, and then use a separate entrance or exit for Varia, and then go through there. So let's do it. That's not the right way, is it? Yeah, okay. Yep. I was headed the wrong way here for a bit. Yeah, here we go. A little bit of frame rate lag right there. So yeah, this is, we did a sequence break here earlier, but this is typically the normal path you do your Dairon after getting the diffusion beam. What causes the sequence break anyways? Is it speed boost shenanigans? Sometimes. We've done 4 sequence breaks so far, but we haven't gotten the speed booster yet. But there is a really, really cool sequence break coming up involving the speed booster, and I think that's the next upgrade we get. Yeah, it definitely is the next one we get. Okay, go up here. Oops. Wrong way. Sorry, it's hard to keep track of chat while doing all this other stuff. Here we go. As far as I know, there's no glitchless way to obtain the speed booster early. Oh yeah, there's an item I forgot up here. Right there. Yeah, multitasking, baby. Okay. I'll get better at it. I've only been streaming for about 4 or 5 weeks now, but it'll come more naturally as time goes on. So we visited Varia much earlier than we were supposed to. Or not much earlier, but earlier. And now we gotta do some backtracking. And use our diffusion beam to continue on the critical path. Like I mentioned with Blue Crab here, love the atmosphere of this rain here in Varia. And he brought up that it's just like a part in Attack of the Clones on, I forgot the name of the planet, but that part where Obi-Wan does a solo mission, and I think they probably had that in mind when they created this. Alright. Now we can take a shortcut to get down here. This way. There we go. We already did some work to mess with these platforms when we sequence broke, so that allowed the shortcut. And this allows the path forward to take out the central unit and get the speed booster. Camino, that's right. Yeah. The exteriors of Varia feel a lot like Camino. El Camino. Don't know if you guys are into Breaking Bad or not. I love Breaking Bad. Walter. Walter. So yeah, like I said, the first time I did sequence breaking in this game, hell, the first 3 or 4 times probably. I always got really lost. No, it makes sense. Oops. Oh, come on. Gotta farm for some health here now. Jesse, we need to cook. Hold up, let him cook. Jesse! This thing, even people who haven't watched Breaking Bad, they still know about the memes. It's such a cultural phenomenon. And I think Better Call Saul kind of extended that. Because Better Call Saul is also an excellent show. Yeah, even Breaking Bad by itself is just a mainstay. Sorry, I'm not gonna read your message yet. I gotta get past this. Oh, jeez. Hey, piss off. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, see how fast this guy is? Dang, can you really farm this vent? Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for farming. I say, okay, so you said, to be fair, the normal path is jumping all around the places as is. Sequence breaking probably gonna make it more complex. Absolutely, yeah. Yellow Emmy is smart, dude. He is on top of it. Okay, here's the right. Okay, I think. Nope, still going the wrong way. What an asshole. Oops. Yeah. He's not technically the hardest. There are some Emmys later on that can like throw all this weird shit at you. But for me, this fast one, he gets me the most. And I haven't been able to counter him recently. Oh, come on. And I'm going the wrong way, so here. I think I gotta go this way. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're pretty close to the central unit. Should be right around the corner here. Yeah, I see it. Or I don't see it. Okay, it's right here. How's the blue on Dread? You know, once you know how to handle the blue, he's actually not too terrible. So that thing that he throws at you, that orb, doesn't insta-kill you, so that's nice. There we go. DNA? Shit. Alright. Let's get our speed booster, shall we? And then we're gonna do a really cool sequence break. Once we get our speed booster. It's super neat. Even this part takes me a while just because he's so fast. Should be able to break his shield here. Nope. Damn. Okay, we'll be able to break it now. Let's take him out now. Got him. Said speed boost has always been the most broken thing for people who know how to use it. Yeah. Yeah. I watched a guy on Reddit. He had the speed booster in this game, and he maintained his speed boosts through wall jumping and sliding for like 3 minutes. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Okay. I gotta take a piss real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Now, we have the speed booster. Normally, you would use it to go through... Wait. Where exactly? Yeah, right there. No, let's see. Let's actually take a look here. Oh yeah, through here. Speed booster block. Actually, let's do this first. Let's grab this. Got another energy tank, thanks to 4 energy parts. So normally you would do this. Go through here, 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 here. Oh, I messed it up. Let's try it again. You can get a Missile Plus tank through pulling this off. Like that. He said, I love that the game designers encourage sequence breaking. That design ethic is so rare these days. It really is. The developers at Mercury Steam really knew their stuff. They know what Metroid fans want, and they catered to it. And here's the other part of the critical path forward. Do a Shine Spark. Grab this energy tank. Could also start the speed boost on the Emmy door. You have just enough room. Yeah, that's true. So what we're gonna do instead is go back up here. We're gonna get early super missiles. I'm gonna head back to Gavaran. We've already been there for a previous sequence break. Actually, I should save, shouldn't I? Okay, there's a save room up top. But we're gonna do another now that we have the speed booster. This is one of my favorite breaks in the game. You know, getting early super missiles is very beneficial. Okay, so we go through here. I pointed out this to Blue Crab earlier. This cold room. It's gonna hurt us the whole way. Do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Bam. That's the first time I've ever done that first try. That was really cool. And look, this is how you know that the developers knew that you were going to sequence break, because you get past that door, you're going to lose a lot of health, and then you have this energy refill station right afterward. It's genius. Yeah, no, in this game, the speed boost, you can maintain the speed boost through wall jumps. Which is the first time you can do that in a Metroid game. It's awesome. W and on camera. Yeah, that was really cool. Usually it takes me at least 2 or 3 tries to do that. Now we're gonna head back to Gavaran. Oh no, yeah, no limit. That guy on Reddit I was talking about who maintained his speed boost for like 3 or 4 minutes. That was one of the main things he used. Was wall jumping. Let's go grab this missile tank. Oops. There we go. Yeah, no limit at all. Okay, go down here, take out this stupid bug. Get our early super missile. This is gonna help a lot on a mini boss we're about to face in Varia. Now, you may feel compelled to go through this store, check some stuff out, but there's really nothing to find. I think there's some sort of expansion to find up here, but there are no other sequence breaks you can do on Gavaran right now. You gotta use your infinite ball jump. Go up here. Got missile plus tank. And that's about all you can do on Gavaran right now. So we'll head back. Now it's time to head to Varia. We'll go back on the critical path we were just on with the speed booster. And that will bring us to a major cutscene in the game, where we meet Quiet Robe, or as I call him, Exposition Bird. Because he fills us in on all the deets of the game's plot. Yeah, that's a shortcut there, isn't it? Or no, it's not. Or yeah, it is. Just gotta do that. Go through here. Wait, oops. There we go. It took a lot of E-tanks, didn't it? Come here. Nope. Come here. Speed run his doom. There's an early item we can't get to. Or not an early item, just an item we can't get to yet. A power bomb. I mentioned earlier in this stream, usually when I do this sequence breaking, I'll go all around the world and collect a bunch of stuff. You know, I'll head back to Artaria. Collect a bunch of early missile tanks and early energy tanks and early power bomb expansions. But for the sake of the stream, we're not going to do that. Oops. Okay, let's head to Ferenia. It's pretty annoying that power bomb blocks sit there all game just for you to get them at the end. Yeah, and that's kind of an issue of just end game upgrades in general. I mean, Metroidvanias always tease you with things you can't get quite yet, but with that one it's kind of annoying because by the time you get power bombs, you're pretty much, I mean, you are at the very end of the game. That's the last upgrade. So there's not a whole lot of opportunities to use power bombs aside from item hunting. However, you can get a fair number of early power bomb expansions with the right exploration. And it's like zero mission, it's just like it's an unknown item. I remember the game teases you like 3 times with the same missile tank. Yeah, probably. That sounds on brand. Okay, so we're here with Exposition Bird. But this is such a great cutscene. And it not only fills you in on this game's plot, but it also fills in so many gaps of Metroid in general. The history of the Chozo, you know, SR388, the events from Fusion, the events of Metroid 2. A lot of great stuff happens here, and there's a particularly great moment with Samus that happens here. So let's check it out. Samus's body language is always on point throughout this game. They show so much of her character just through her movements. Okay, yeah, I think I know about the expansion you're talking about. That may be alleviated through sequence breaking, I'm not sure though.
Ashkar behek, hasari gale ubana dosh elegar mir. Ninu barash nek ili ferun tar hadar. Les ninu kedar, ili mathroid mugi. Tanam tar bi hadar bunta. Eiris dosh eka ili gimel. Ashkar behek gabori dosh balan ili mathroid dosh.
Yeah, the screw attack is teased quite a bit. Unless you know how to sequence break.
Ashkar behek hem ili maukin Hasana hasari anabalta dosh humachar sanian ili tarin alima les nudakan dosh geren humachar korgan gal turuta mathroid sabalba hum talaris le shak sirugali nevak hem mugi lamai dosh goro humachar yoris me kohana aitar ili gelsu manu naloni ishka ili agarna lima mugi garama bi eris les nido ili tarin alima megori le shakutanka ontar humachar gelsu mugi barilin ili eris arek ebores ashkar behek elemeirisi dos karodan hum ninu aros hakame ninu mahar mehe.
So thank goodness I watch anime subbed. Yeah, I usually do too. Yeah, and in this case. Yeah, this kind of custom language of the Chozo. It's really well done. Reminds me of the languages in The Lord of the Rings.
Iliemai marhuma satari lin ashkar behek. Tamus arlan, feje hadoran. Ninu habar kumane humdosh, devolen ili mathroidim ish.
Here's the great moment right here. Musical cue. Here we go. Samus speaks. First time she has actual audible dialogue in any of the 2D games. And this is the first and only time where we're told directly where to go in the game. And we barely knew you, exposition bird. Sorry it had to go that way. Now I'm used to facing these guys on frickin' 0% in Dread mode, so... And also I have early super missiles, so this will go down pretty easily. Oops. Should go down fairly easily, unless I screw up. Oh yeah. I think she talks at Metroid Prime 3, but I haven't played it yet, so I'm not sure. Yeah, other M, of course, you can't shut up. There we go. Jennifer Hale is a VA. Is that who voiced her in... Wait, I don't know. Okay, I believe our next sequence break is on Gavaran, but it's quite a ways off. Oh, here's the puzzle you were talking about, right? Sorry, exposition bird. Samus can't have friends. It's true. For Samus, her life is just a continuous tragedy. Said I will say I'm pretty sure I'm not super good at any boss past the star missile, because I just greeted the star missiles. Yeah, they are very useful. Especially with those robot soldiers. They just eviscerate them. However, Ravenbeak, the final boss, it's better just to use singular ice missiles.
Our profile friend has explained much. I have confirmed that Quiet Road has deactivated all remaining enemies. The route Quiet Road opened is in Varia.
Yu-Gi-Oh monster? I'm not sure. I know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, head back to Perennia. Yep. Cool. Oh, just a black ball. Okay. Pretty sure we're about to face another major boss. It's been a while, come to think of it. Those morph ball tubes are so cool. I don't know if you guys have played Sonic, but you played Sonic 2 for the Genesis. There's this level called Chemical Plant. And you go through these tubes, and I'm pretty sure that was the main inspiration for the tubes here. A good friend of mine pointed out to me recently, and I'm sure you've already heard this, Blue Crab, but I really like games where you turn into a ball. Like, check this out. Or hold on. You do the speed booster with the morph ball. Also, pro tip. These tram sections are perfect for practicing maintaining your speed boost with wall jumps. Just do this over and over. Do it for as long as you can. Turn into a morph ball and be like, woo! It's great. Said, why is like almost every song in early Sonic a banger? Because it's early Sonic and it's fucking goated. I don't know how they did it, they just did. Cool trick here, grapple beam him, counter. It's very themed as well as being the perfect blend of funk, jazz, and synth. Yeah, and pop, and rock, and yeah, the composers of some of those games on the Genesis at that time really knew what they were doing. And Super Missile coming in clutch here. Yeah, he said also Sonic 2, every checkpoint giving you a Chaos Emerald if you could do the special stage. You got Super Sonic ridiculously early. Yeah. You just gotta have 50 rings and then get to a checkpoint, and then you have to be good enough to do those ridiculous half-pipe stages. I still suck at those. I can't do those for shit. Black and blue spheres, no prob. Yeah. I have not gotten Super Sonic and Sonic 2 very often because I suck at those. They are much more tolerable on the new versions on Sonic Origins. Because they're, excuse me, 60 frames per second and just a lot smoother. Oh shit. My favorite Sonic game is still Sonic Mania. You know, I was a 90s kid. I was born in 90. And Sonic 1 and 2 were some of the earliest games I ever played. So they left a big mark on me. And Sonic 3 was, you know, is just one of my favorite games in general. So when they announced Sonic Mania back in 2016, I completely lost my shit. And then the game came out and it delivered, you know, in pretty much every way. I love that game. Yep, Mania was made by fans, took what worked, and made more, yeah. Buy the Mania for the Mania, as they say. What's my favorite track from Sonic Mania? Shit. You're asking me to choose between a dozen favorite children. I mean, there's so many tracks that were redone from earlier games. Then there's also Studiopolis. Both acts of that were incredible. Press Garden. Probably Press Garden. God, I can't choose. That's gonna take some thought. Remix versus OG. You know, I gotta say, I generally prefer T. Lopes' remixes over the originals in general. This T. Lopes is a brilliant bastard. Stardust Act 2. Yeah, Stardust. Both Stardust. Speedways. Music. You know, it's amazing. Also, Metallic Madness. Both of the remixes for that. I think a lot of people prefer Metallic Madness Act 2, but I really liked Act 1, where Sonic is rapping. Okay, here we are at another major boss. And of course we have early super missiles, so should go down fairly quickly. Yep. Also, Titanic Monarch. Both of them, but there's... I forgot which Titanic Monarch. But one of them reuses a motif from Sonic CD. And it's fantastic. Yeah, Titanic Monarch is... It's underrated as a level, too. I think it's one of the best Sonic levels ever. The OG Flying Battery. Yeah, that's fair. I'll have to do a comparison. Yeah. Flying Battery Act 2 and the original Sonic and Knuckles. It always gave me like an eerie feeling as a kid. Okay. So you can either do this with the grapple beam or you could just skip that shit. Or wait, there's something down here. No, we can't get that yet. We don't have the gravity suit. We'll just use the flash shift to get past that. That. Get up here. Oops. Yeah, Secret Agent 007. There's a lot of video game themes that remind me of 007, and I don't think that's an accident. God, what's another good one from Sonic Mania? I mean, they're all good, but... Oh, Lava Reef. So, they use an electric guitar instead of whatever sound font was used with the Genesis, and that works really well. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. It's great. Okay, another block here. Yeah, Press Garden is amazing. Do 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 do. Jeez. Now I just need to go and replay Mania. See it. Again, early super early super missiles coming in clutch. Is what it is, yo. Oh, he's gotten some hits on me. I'm kinda close to dying. I gotta be careful. There we go. It's Mania, Metroidvania. Shit, I wish. Man, but the whiplash from Mania to Forces was intense, yeah. Well, to quote Video Game Donkey, I was just telling Blue Crab about Donkey earlier. I guess he's never watched them, but... So, Mania came out a few months before Forces, and then... Donkey gave Mania a glowing review, of course, and there's a Donkey Easter egg in the original version of Mania, but that's a whole different can of worms. And then a few months later, Forces comes out and he reviews it. He's like, okay, Sonic was good for like 3 months, and now we're back to this shit. And yeah, it's exactly what it is. Forces was a fucking disaster. Yeah, Gunship 2.0. I'm gonna stream all sorts of games on that. That'll be my general gaming channel. Damage buffs are always great, especially if unintended. Facts. But no, so you know what my grand idea is? It's a Sonic Metroidvania. It's a classic Sonic 2D sprite-based game. You know what it would be called? Sonic Vania. That's right, motherfuckers. Like, if you can incorporate upgrade-based progression with the 2D Sonic level design, I think there's a lot of great potential there.
Uploading data.
Samus, you are approaching the surface. This area, Gathering, appears to be an underground forest.
Yeah, Blue Crab. Your first video game Donkey video should be his Sonic Mania review. Just look that up. Just search Donkey Sonic Mania. Or sorry, Donkey Sonic Mania.
You were no match for him then, one thing.
It's possible. It really depends on what you try to see. Sorry, I can't see your chat very well right now. Or try to use, yeah. Said, hold up. Yeah, you might be able to use the different characters as well as different items and upgrades. So my idea for it is the first upgrade you get is the spin dash. You don't have the spin dash at first, and you use that to get through like these blocks. And just kind of go from there. Yeah, even the shitty Sonics still have good ideas. It's true. Okay. We just sequence broke. Oh, we need to go up there. That's right. You already. So this is. We're just now catching up with the super missiles at this point. Go through that door. Take a leaf from Dread and make you not spin dash for like the first 3 areas. Yeah, dude, I was just telling Blue Crab about that. The fact that this game makes you wait for the morph ball for so long. See, this was only my second Metroid game, so I didn't really feel that, but you played Fusion and Zero Mission and Prime and the original Metroid before this, so that must have felt like quite the wait to get the morph ball. Oh, jeez. Let's go. Okay. Brand new area called Elon. Elon? Elon. Elon Musk. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that shit now. And it works so well because of the slide that can force you forward. Small cliffs to prevent you going backwards. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the slide opens up all these areas that previously would only be accessible with the morph ball. And as we know, through that old meme, Metroid cannot crawl. Why can't Metroid crawl? Elon. Oh yeah, this is where we're introduced to the X-Parasites. Oh hey, this is hilarious. It's called Elon, and we have the X-Parasites. How funny is that? Shit. Yeah, that's a great subversion of expectation to forego the morph ball for that long. There's a lot of cutscenes in this game, and almost all of them are freaking awesome. And they're visual, you know? I mean, you have Adam yapping in your ear, but those aren't really cutscenes. The actual cutscenes are pure visual storytelling. In true Metroid fashion. So, we're gonna get through this section of the game. After the next boss, I'm probably gonna call it a night on this stream. And then we'll continue with the sequence breaking tomorrow. I think after I defeat the boss or the mini boss here, that'll put me in a pretty good position. And then we'll do more sequence breaking shenanigans tomorrow night, of course. But I'm also gonna do more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order tomorrow night. I'm also going to do some Metroid Prime, no expansion run. We're going to do all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I think the Adam stuff works pretty well, especially the first few rounds. Okay. Plasma beam, baby. Okay. You'll be at work tomorrow night, won't be back till Wednesday. That's okay, too. We're doing some streams during the day, and then of course there's always VODs of my streams available on my YouTube channel called The Gunship. So if you want to see some more sequence break shenanigans, you can always tune in to my YouTube channel, and everything is archived there. But if not, then, you know, I'll see you again on Twitch on Wednesday, because I've pretty much been streaming every night. Okay, yeah, we got a mini boss here. Then I'm gonna call it a night. The Chozo soldiers. Yeah, I'm also glad you could stop by, man. Really enjoyed the conversation. That's really cool that you just finished Metroid Dread yesterday and tuned into some live streams, and we all know Sonic too, so yeah, all sorts of great stuff going on. I love this live streaming thing, man. It's so much fun. Okay. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Same. I do the same thing every time I finish a game. I'll, you know, try to research stuff and then engage with the community and find all the things I missed and look at speed runs and yeah, good shit. Okay, let's find a safe station and then we'll call it a night here. Absolutely. Also, man, this cutscene is so cool. Look at the colors. They're like gelatinous snacks or something. Okay, I think we got a save point coming up. Take this guy out with a speed boost. Alright. Here we are, guys. Yeah, thanks to both of you for tuning in. Thank you, Delty Kiev, for tuning in for the first time, and Blue Crab for coming back as always. Yeah, the 3D look is way better than I thought it would. Yeah, this game mixes 2D side-scrolling with actual 3D incredibly well. But yeah, I'm gonna get a little snack and go to bed, but I'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in to the gunship. I will see you next mission.